Today another video essentially recorded on my phone, so apologies for the quality because my GoPro sucks and I live in Britain, which is constantly dark and rainy. So essentially I'll just be going over, my lat development. Now, as you've probably seen by the thumbnail and stuff, I've been able to, accentuate my lower lats quite a lot. Been able to build them a lot, and essentially it's not really much of a secret. I think a lot of people do this exercise and stuff, but it's the thing I've been preaching in my videos. It's the lat pull down. So specifically I like a, what is it, a mag grip. It's a mag grip which is slightly wide, but that's because it's down to my preference, and I have that mind muscle connection with my lower lats to bring it down and bring it in, which I think has been a really good contributor to my back development, because in my opinion my back isn't really the best thing I have. It's I think mainly my shoulders are more of a outwards thing and stuff like that. But I've managed to really, improve my lats quite a lot, just purely by focusing on lat pull down. So focusing on trying to get those lower lats, but also the lat pullover, which is able to, do the upper lats, but also do the lower lats. So kind of like pull straight into, I can feel my lower lats, with every single rep. And I feel like, some people just forget about the mind muscle connection and stuff like that. And if you really want to grow big lats or get some decent progression on your lats, you need that mind muscle connection in order to forward. I mean, people would usually see me as mainly a powerlifter, but I'm barely of the two. I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a powerlifter, I'm more of a gym enthusiast, because for one, I haven't competed at all in those sports, and maybe in the future, I might go to a bodybuilding competition, I might do a powerlifting. I mean, I'm planning on doing a powerlifting meet next year, so that'll be interesting. It's just I want my weights to be slightly more up, because I don't feel like I'm at the stage where I should be competing, because it's I want to at least win, but it all depends. I want to give it a good chance of winning, so yeah. But when it comes to my lats, which I think you've seen in the first image, where I was 6 months into my actual lifting stuff, and yeah, it looks to be, there's at least something there. But I feel like in the last year or so, my back has really, developed, as well as my arms. Trying to do different things is how you are able to find the things that work. So bridge curls might not work for some people, but they work for me. I love a bridge curl. Some people hate it. I hate standing curls because I feel nothing with them, but some people love them. It's all part of what you like doing, because there's multiple lat pull down variations, if I'm being honest. I like the mag grip wide thing. You might like the straight bar. You might like a small bar, whatever. But the emphasis should be on the lower lats, or the muscle that you're focusing on, because once you have that mind muscle connection, you're able to build certain parts more efficiently. Trying to do traps, for example. When I was doing rows, I barely fell in my traps, but all I had to do was essentially, not this, but essentially kind of force myself to pull my shoulder blades together, so I'm more like this. I'm rolling out, and then that's why I get the mind muscle connection, and how I end up like this. Don't ask how I knew how to do that, but but yeah, it's all about that mind muscle connection, and I hope this kind of like informative stuff for if you are a beginner. I don't fucking know. You could be an advanced lifter and potentially think, why the hell are my lower lats not working? It's just the fact that you're not focusing on them enough. You need focus. Shouldn't be doing sets mindlessly. But anyway, we'll be getting into week 1 of this winter cut, which as you can see by my pasty skin, I might need a cut or two. So yeah, trying to shred the blubber off and become stronger as well. So welcome to the winter cut, and I'll see you in the gym. So starting off the workout with tempo bench. I think in future I might do this day extremely late. So like I just train extremely late in the evening. And that's just purely because I've had enough of these morning people taking the piss. So I think training extremely late might be the plan, because I'll be honest, on this day and this week alone, for the multiple time people have been rude, and I don't really want to see certain people. So it's like, for God's sake, just most people need some manners checking, especially the older people. Like, honestly, some people have the audacity. But anyway, getting on with the workout as is. So many a times in this, I have to literally skip certain exercises, so you're gonna have to bear with me. So at least we're not skipping bench, because nobody in the fucking morning does bench, because they're all a bunch of assholes. But when it comes to bench, fairly fine, tempo, easy, getting it out of the way. And then moving on to incline press straight afterwards. So getting more bench volume in, as well as strengthening those shoulders, those chest muscles and stuff like that. And just trying to get through this as quickly as possible, because I'll be honest, at this moment in time I was just like, I have had enough of morning people, because morning people suck. I'll say that, suck to the point where I was like, I need to find another gym. This gym sucks, the people suck, and it's like, half the time I wish there was like a different gym near me, like a better gym, but unfortunately there isn't that many gyms near me that are suitable. So it's like me pissing against the wind for most of it. But when it comes to shoulders, just still trying to keep locked in. And you get to kind of like see what I'm trying to get at. Like, I can't get on a machine because someone is taking it. So I'll just leave it at that for the viewer to decide who I was talking about very few, like this time last week as well, but also this week. So this week was an absolute struggle, to be honest, because just I used to just keep with my gym, because I knew a lot of people, and the people were fine, but that was because I trained in the evening. Now I found out most people in the morning, honestly, I don't know what's happened to them. It's like night and day. It's like people treat you differently, and people treat you like you're underneath them, which for me is a real pet peeve, because oh well. But trying to get my shoulders nice and big, but regardless of who's pissing me off and who's taking a fuck ton of a long time to actually do their sets, and taking more sets than needed, like 10 each exercise. So it's like, I don't really care anymore for that purpose, because I'm going to be training in the afternoon from now on, because fuck this shit. and I can't be arsed training in the morning. Getting up at like 6 in the morning to just train at 9 and then go to work straight afterwards. It's just too much of a pain in the arse, especially with people, taking the piss. So, yeah. But anyway, triceps finished off there. And then I did flies eventually, Took fucking forever, but, it's always, a trick to just try and be as mature as you can. You can't let people piss you off to the point where you start having a right argument with them, which is what I did in many of these situations. So like on this day, on leg day, which you'll see in a bit, that I skipped leg press because someone was rude and they're just absolute idiots. But yeah, when it comes to certain people, just try and be mature, and that's all you can do. You can just wave it off and be like, yeah, I don't give enough of a shit to get kicked out of the gym, because certain people have the audacity to think the world literally revolves around them and that the machines belong to them, but they don't. Which I've said this many times. I work in with loads of people in the afternoon because they're trying to get through their workout, I'm trying to get through mine, and that's the way me and other people work. I've asked many people to work in and they've been absolutely lovely, but people in the morning are very much the scrapes underneath my shoe. Honestly, their attitude is so much different to afternoon people. But yeah, I'm a bit of a ranter right now because I'll be honest, this part of the week pissed me the fuck off a lot. Even though I tried to handle it in a mature manner, people don't seem to understand what mature really is, which is the struggle with today's society. People think they're immortal because they're constantly online, and then they can chat as much shit as they want in front of you. And it's like, I don't even have a problem. But old heads will be old heads thinking they're superior, and yeah, I'll do my own thing. But anyway, posing. Less of the ranting right now because, you didn't come to this video for a rant. But yeah, it did set me off quite a lot. But anyway, training in the morning again, unfortunately, doing some more tempo bench, same weight as usual. So the reason I'm doing the same weight is because these are just mainly technique focused, because when you do tempos, or when I do tempos, I'm able to fixate on my feet, my grip, every single little aspect, because I'm doing it at such a slow pace. I'm able to get that mind muscle connection with, the bench press, and able to, push more weight, because it's not just because I'm able to hold the weight for so long, it's because I'm reassuring my brain, I know how to do this, which might be a technique for deadlifts as well, because deadlifts, as you have seen in the past weeks, is that I didn't PR on deadlifts, because for one, switch up of stuff, and as well as just everything else. So yeah, it's just gotta deal with things, and yeah. Moving on to back, doing some cable rows. I worked in with a fella here, so that's why I've got a close grip, because some people in the morning are nice, like the fella that let me on this, because he wasn't as much of a jerk when I said, oh, can I work in, because asking to work in is a regular thing for me. I have to work in if someone's using it, and I get on with my day. And essentially, yeah, I switched to a different grip once he's finished, and that's the kind of respect I give to people. Because I like to think of myself as a nice person. I like to think of myself as, you know, a person who was raised right, because my parents didn't drag me up. So essentially, just worked in with this man. He was very nice about it, and yeah, going with my stuff. And then eventually, once he left and to do a different exercise, I put a different grip on, and that felt a lot better. So I'm not a big fan of close grip, just purely because, but I'm a big fan of the wide neutral grip, and I like it a lot more because I get to close my shoulder blades up a lot more, and it just feels better, in my opinion. I feel like with a more of a close grip, it's just like, yeah, you're kind of just pulling with your arms, not your back, if that makes sense. But yeah, then moving on to lat pull down, which I also shared with an older person. So this another tip from me, I guess. But like, this older person got cramp, so he had to walk it off. So I got the lat pull down because one, I wanted it, and two, just to keep it for him. And then once he got there, he just did like a constant set, which I think some old people just do one set, and it's like just a constant of one weight, which, fair enough. Just got talking to him, and hopefully, you know, made his day better. And that's the kind of like gym I want to be a part of, you know, the ones where I let you work in, the ones that I'm able to, you know, help someone make their day a little bit better. Because, you know, he just talked about his life, stuff like that, and I wasn't even bothered by it, because, you know, I'm not a dick like some people in the morning. But yeah, when it comes to lat pull down, like I said in this video, it's you know, that mind muscle connection, trying to build up those lower lats and, you know, structure them out to make a great shape, as it will. And then on to preacher curl, because I couldn't get on anything else. So I was just like, oh, I'll just go on to biceps, seeing as everything's taken. So yeah, that's literally what I did. I went on to you know, preacher curl, well, the regular preacher curl, not on a bench, because I hate certain benches, like they're too low for me to do preacher curl, but you know, some are okay, like you know, so some in this gym are kind of too small, but I like doing it on the actual preacher curl itself, just purely because you sat down in the right position, everything's set up for you. But yeah, it's all part of the plan and stuff. And yeah, and then moved on to afterwards, essentially I moved on to incline curls. So I believe by combining these two, I'm able to, you know, hit both heads of the bicep as effectively as possible. So essentially what I mean by that is, you got two heads, you got the long head and the short head. The long head is mainly focused on, you know, I'd say preacher curl, because I feel it more on a preacher curl and, you know, them cable curls. But also I feel my short head on like an incline curl, because I'm kind of like rotating my wrist outwards away from my body, and that's the kind of like you know, thing I'm trying to aim for. Because when I'm doing these curls, as you see here, I'm not like putting them outwards literally directly forward. I'm kind of putting them out at an angle, which more or less activates the short head, which is kind of like what thickens your bicep, because it's near the brachialis and stuff like that. It makes your biceps look thicker from if you were to put your like arms just straight instead of by the side. And by the side is like long head, so like your peak and stuff, long head, you know. And yeah, and then I moved on to the same thing that I did last video, which was barbell I think barbell reverse curl, and yeah, that was pretty much the workout. It wasn't the best, but it surely was good for, you know, a bit more of a positive spin on morning people. But yet again, I hopefully won't be training in the morning for push day 2, because I feel like that's when people are more dickish and take longer. So I'll be trying that next week, which yeah, that'll be extremely fun. So yeah, and we're now near the end of it. So end of pull day. Here's the bit of the posing. You get to see the physique. Arms are looking pretty good. Forearms are catching up. You know, they're getting thicker, they're getting more stronger, and that's what we like to see. And then you know, my body without a shirt on, it's okay. You know, it's getting there. I've lost, I believe at this point, I lost 5 kilos within a week or 2, I think. And yeah, you get to see more of my abdominals than you usually would. And yeah, there's slightly more detail on my shoulders and stuff, which is kind of like the indication for me that I'm getting leaner and stuff. But yeah, leg day, pause squats, doing 3 reps and then 5 reps with 150 and 160. So yeah, pause squats went fairly well. Nothing really to complain about. They were just pause squats at the end of the day, and yeah, they were decent. I trained in the morning this time because I was doing something with my mum, because, you know, Christmas and shit. But yeah, I wouldn't train in the morning for leg day either, because people were dickish as well, especially when it came to the leg press. It was just like, you don't own the gym. I'd be better off if you just let me go in between if you rest, which the guy rested for at least 2 minutes. So yeah, it was just unfortunate. And yeah, it is what it is. Now to RDLs, doing 160, which is pretty much a regular weight for me now. Like, you know, it's not that hard. And yeah, I definitely do feel my hamstrings when I'm, you know, doing these. I might switch out for stiff leg deadlifts, but it's kind of like an indicator of will I be able to, you know, activate as much as I can on, you know, just stiff leg deadlifts and stuff, that I will on RDLs, which is always going to be the answer, but, you know, we will see. But anyway, split squat, as usual, I've gone 5 kilos heavier than my last bit, and yeah, it went fairly well, went fairly deep on these split squats, trying to, you know, stretch out my hip flexor, but also work on, you know, stability and stuff like that, which is kind of like, you know, what split squats are for at the end of the day. And yeah, when it comes to split squats, it's up to you how you do them. If you like dumbbell, then just do dumbbell, and if you like Smith machine, then do your Smith machine. Not really, it's not heavily based off, you know, what you kind of do. There's no like best way of doing it. There's just you, which is kind of like how I describe training. It's like whatever works for you works for you. So like, say if you feel like you're getting stronger by doing dumbbell, then that's you, that's great. But I feel a lot stronger and I feel a lot more stable on, you know, a Smith machine, because I'm able to stack more weight, but also, you know, I'm not kind of limited by my grip, which used to be a big factor, which depending on if grip comes a problem, I'll be able to, you know, use RDLs as like a grip exercise almost. But anyway, leg extensions, yet again, doing single leg as usual, because I just prefer single leg, you know, it's just what I prefer. And then doing adductors at the end, and then hamstring curls at the end. So essentially hitting all the points which I'm able to grow my legs a lot more, you know, grow the rest of my quads, even though I didn't do any other exercise to quads like leg press, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And then adductors helps with stability, builds out your legs from the front, and hamstring curls just gets a bit more of that hamstring. But anyway, that's all for me today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.